Okay, here we go. It's not all lit up yet. However, where do I start and where do I end? It's been a tremendous year, to say the least. Oh my God. Quite a year. Quite a year. Wouldn't you say? I call it a end of the career too. I could definitely guarantee that after the new year, it's going to be one of my permanent resolutions. That's going to be kind of a for sure thing. I just don't see how I could restart a channel again. See, the problem is I enjoy vlogging, but after all the shit I've been through on here, you know, every nerve and bone in my body and brain cell is telling me, nah. It's one thing to be off a couple of weeks, but to be off permanently, that's quite a challenge. But unfortunately, that's going to kind of be what's going to have to happen on here. Too much trials and tribulations, underline the words. Yeah, something like that. Now, for those that have followed me for a lot of years, let me tell you, I have a lot of people on here that have followed me, some of them ever since I've ever been on YouTube. That's a long, long time ago. We talking 9 years? I don't even know. I stopped counting. I'm really glad I've been able to entertain you, whether you're trolls or not. I did provide entertainment. That goes without saying, really. And I've got a lot of entertainment back. Not always in the way I wanted to, but there were still things that were very entertaining to me, despite them being very negative. I won't elaborate what that means, but you try to figure it out. Oh, pardon me. Oh, shit. What did I eat? I even forgot what the hell I ate. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. There's some leftover, kind of a curry chicken. Couldn't taste the curry though in there for some reason. Well, I wish I had some news to share. I do know something, but I can't elaborate on it because it's not written in stone or anything like that. So cannot elaborate on anything. Maybe I'll do a show on that. Period. Maybe we'll bring a conclusion to all this crap. Perhaps. Larry Liempo. Help Big Kev from what? Help him. It's a big boy. He's a big boy. What does he need help with? He don't take anybody's advice. Does that sound familiar? Help Big Kev. He won't take anybody's advice. I think he should have really worked on his deal of getting into the Philippines. I think he'd be better off than where he's at, to be honest with you. It's just not happening for him. Yeah, he succeeded in losing weight, which was a great thing, but he's not utilizing his brain. He needs to get out of Dodge. That's no place for him. He'd be more comfortable. I know that Don C., old Don Cornelius there, was trying to help him out, brought him to these offices to do this and that, but I don't think Big Kevin followed through with any of that shit. My understanding. I don't know. I still say he should have spent his time to try to go reunite with his children that he's been talking about for all these years and hasn't seen. But apparently, leaving his aunt's basement to go to Thailand was a lot more important than seeing his children. I told you, some people on here really fucked up on what they consider priorities. Don't talk about it. In fact, you know, one of his kids looks just like him, I swear to God. You remember the picture of the two girls? The one, if you remember on the left, boy, that is a spitting image of Kevin, I must say. There's no question whose kid that is. I'm not saying anything good or bad about it. I'm just saying that it's a spitting image of Kevin. I told Kevin on the fly, I said, I know what you're going through. You're lonely or, people got to get their act together. You know, we're not all trained psychologists on here. And most people on here need a psychologist. But you could only say something to somebody so many times that they don't catch on. There's really nothing you can do. Well, Cali Prison Boy's back. Well, yes and no, Mark. The yes and no thing for the end of the year here. No, I haven't been on for a couple of weeks. By choice. I wanted to be a fly on the wall for a while. Yeah. That's all it was. He needs money. He's getting evicted from this. I don't think he's getting evicted from his hotel room. I don't know. I don't know if something new came up. Well, Kevin doesn't know how to organize his life, apparently. So he makes good money every month, to resources. And I don't understand that. Thailand is relatively cheap, and he's renting a very cheap room. But as I told him, his mistake was, in the effort of having some company. And believe me, I understand that. I'm not on a big time like he did, but I said on another show, I said, there were moments that when I was visiting the Philippines that it wasn't girls all the time, and it never really was girls all the time. Just a few women I actually met, and some of them I actually got to spend some time with. But there were times, even if it was just a couple of days. I know it sounds like, oh, come on, man, really? But really, a couple of days of trying to figure out what you want to do with your time. You don't have a companion at the time. It's very hard. So you find yourself in your hotel room. Okay, what do I do now? What? Hang around the mall? It does come down to that. Needs money because he's getting... Okay. Big Kev looks like decades of loneliness got the best of him. Yeah, he's not the best decision maker. He's too busy buying toys. But now he's buying drinks just to have women companionship. And that's pretty sad. Because I don't look at it. It seems to me that's the only way to get a woman to be around him is to buy him a drink. And they're willing to sit with anybody that's going to buy him a drink or anything else. You haven't learned that by now, I guess you never will. Whether it's Thailand, whether it's the Philippines, Cambodia, Vietnam, or even Mongolia. Financial advisor? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Kevin don't listen to anybody but Kevin. Look, people get themselves into a situation. It's up to them to get themselves out of the situation. They can't, beg the help of other people when they're not really putting out much of an effort for themselves to make something positive or make something happen. That's all on there. That's all on them, It's not anybody's fault or, you can blame anybody you want, but you got to look inside yourself and say, how did I get in this situation? Well, it's pretty obvious that these people put themselves in these situations that they find it very hard to get out of. No, nobody's financial advisor, not on here. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Someone could advise me. More so. Um, well, in regards to him, anyway, Kevin, I think he had a good idea when he left Kentucky and left his aunt's basement, but I just don't think it worked out the way he wanted to, and he's in a state of shock, culture shock. And although they do speak some English there, it's not like Philippines. It's a little, as I understand, a little less frequent to find a lot of people speaking good English. He could have worked his way on paying off all that shit for his immigration, but he was too busy buying toys, things that made sound, things that lit up. He, like the mentality of a 6-year-old. That's what you're dealing with. I think that bolo knife went a little bit too deep. He needs cash by Thursday or he's out of the Oh, come on, you gotta be kidding. Did he say that? The guy is bringing in some pretty good money. He's got a pension, he's got Social Security. How could he be broke? Come on, really. What is he paying these women to be with him? Is this like another Ricky situation? Did he buy them phones? Did he, what is he doing? We got Carolers out there? I don't know what we got. How could he go out of money? Makes a lot more than I make, actually. How's he out of money? He's living in a little tiny little tomb of a room. You see how small and narrow it is. What the hell could he be paying for that? Nah, man, you know what? How do you, how do you get into that kind of situation? I'm not going to buy the story he needs money. Well, maybe he does, but it's his own spending that's getting him in that situation. So now he wants people to bail him out. Oh, come on, man. This seems to be a common theme on here. Bail me out, bail me out, bail me out. Literally and figuratively. I don't know what's wrong with people. Don't ask me. I've been hearing this shit for 9, 10 years, Don't go anywhere if you're not prepared to be there and you don't have the understanding of your environment, what you're going to face, what you're going to experience. When you have emergencies, don't do it. Speaking of emergencies, the people that want to get these insurance companies, like Pacific Cross, whatever, I applied to them how many months ago? And because I was having like kidney issues, not really well related to kidney, the stone, I had the stent, and it was an infection. And it could have turned sepsis, but I think I got lucky with that. Okay, where was I going with this? Oh, Pacific Cross, that Philippines Information Channel cherishes so much. I had my, what's the level? What the hell was that level? They thought it was too high. They wanted tests. I don't know how many thousands I've spent just trying to satisfy Pacific Renault, get another ultrasound, get another urinalysis. Oh, creatinine. And they thought it was too high. Well, the numbers were off because of two things. A little bit of dehydration, healing of everything that was going on with the kidney thing. Okay, stuff like that. That's all it was. So now it's down to better level. I had to go again and get another test I submitted last week. And she's still not giving me an answer. She has to bring this over to the adjuster, whatever. I still don't got an answer. The fact is they don't want to insure you if you're my age. They don't want to insure you. But in the process, what happens is they make you spend a hell of a lot of money because they're always demanding tests, more tests. Oh no, that number's not good enough. I told them everything about my overall health. Everything. Very honest, I didn't leave anything out. Down to sinus problems, you know. But they don't understand about creatinine. If you have a little muscle loss, because I was inactive for a while, if you have, you're not drinking enough water, okay, follow me? And after procedures that I've had, both using instruments and having an infection and da 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 da, it does affect your creatinine level. But they don't understand that. I do, but they don't. I'm not even in the profession. Why do I know more than their adjusters? Well, it's not that I know more than their adjusters. I think it's just that they just don't want to insure me. They figure, as you get, I gave this example before. I've had a couple of car accidents. And State Farm, State Farm. Let me get going on them. So I get into an accident, and they probably had to pay off people a lot of money. Okay. Now you get insurance because, well, in case something happens, that's why you're paying for insurance. Am I right? I mean, isn't that the whole idea? It's a racket. It's a racket, that it is. Yeah. Good evening. It's a racket, insurance. It's one big fucking racket. So you have insurance, right, for your car, and you get into an accident. Whether it's your fault or not, it's an accident. But see, this is why you got insurance. The whole idea is you got insurance to help pay off damages or whatever, whether it's injury or car. That's why you pay insurance. What a racket. So when something does happen, they're going to penalize you. I could understand raising your rates a little bit, but they dumped me. They dumped me. That's what they did. State Farm, one of the worst agencies out there, other than there's one other, I can't remember the name. It's been a while since I needed car insurance, but I was always insured because I was responsible. Okay. But they were the worst. Well, Bitcoin's supposed to be up. Who's making money on this? Old Brevis, is he making money on this? He's supposed to be a Bitcoin billionaire or something, right? Yeah, right. I don't know. A lot of hypocrites out there. Sorry, I'm just at my sink. I want something to eat, and I can't think of what the hell I want to eat. A healthy snack. They came in with a bag of Lay's potato chips earlier. Don't bring potato chips around me. So I had a couple of good handfuls of that, which I didn't expect. Just don't do that. Anyway, enough of these shorts, but the reason I brought that up is because people that want to deal with these medical, you're a foreigner and you want to get insurance out here, and they try to trap you into their little expensive, because the older you are, you realize the more you're going to pay. But this particular company has been having me hanging on, constantly asking for more tests. And I did every single test they wanted. In fact, some of them 3 times over. So the go-between on this is some gal, and works with, what's that guy's name you always hear Steve talking about, yeah. She puts the information to the adjuster. I give her everything she wanted. And I'm still no. I'll have to look into this. I said, why don't you just tell me that you don't think I'm insurable because of my fucking age? That's a fact. Just, tell me the truth. Don't waste my time. Yeah, 108. I've seen on the news feed, whatever. I ain't got no damn Bitcoins. Newest thing. It's going to go on. It's going to grow, I guess. It's a gamble like anything else, you know. But the old rule is don't invest if you cannot afford to lose that money. Sometimes people make a few bucks and they say, well, I'm not going to put that winnings aside, you know, but they just let it all ride. They think you're at a fucking casino, let it ride. Let it all ride on red, then black comes out. And they're broke. How could he not have 250 to his name? I have no idea. I don't know. All these people, they put themselves in spots. Who's this one guy? I forgot his name. And all he talks about is Philly and the Philippines. Okay? There's another guy. I wish, because I don't really watch these channels. But that's why I don't remember his name. Ginger, stop. And all they're doing, because they figure the only way to get viewers is to do drama. Drama. It's all it is on YouTube is fucking drama. Fucking world is falling apart. A couple of other news feeds, a couple of more shootings in the United States. A 15-year-old girl, it's usually a male, goes in and shoots up about 7 students in a small Catholic school. And a couple died. Others are injured, severely injured. And I'm hearing these stories more and more. Is it because our communications are better? Because of cell phones and, you know, it's not like years ago. Sometimes you have to wait till it went to the wire service before it got out to the public. Now you got cell phones. Is it because there's more violence happening? Or is it because our communications are a lot better? No, that's not the guy. That's not Ace. Well, he's one of them, but yeah. But I'm hearing this more and more. People have more violent tendencies, and I somehow, and some of you might agree with me or not, but I think the COVID situation really pushed people over the edge. We all got sucked up in this shit. You think I wanted to get those fucking shots? That was the only way I could get back from Hawaii after not being with my girlfriend for 1 year and 2 months. When the Philippines opened up, that's when I left. It had nothing to do with my tenants. It wasn't running away from anything. When that sucker opened up, I got the Q codes. I got everything they wanted me to do. I had the second booster shot, so a series of 2 shots total. I did everything they required because I wanted to get back to the Philippines. I don't know yet. I know there was a plan for the 2 attorneys to meet today. Whether they did or not, I don't know. My attorney's kind of slow on giving me information anyway. Sometimes I have to get it from my other lawyer. I got 2 that's representing me. He's a lot easier to communicate with. Remember, I'm not their only client. You gotta understand that. And sometimes I can get a little pushy with this kind of shit. You know, I don't know everything that's going on the minute it happens. You know, the information sometimes flows back to me in a certain period of time. Yeah, she's not too bad looking, that Maya chick, isn't she? No rush, Barry ain't going nowhere. She's seen. Some people think it's all a coy, it's all bullshit to get their channels kind of going a bit. Philo changed his demeanor, looking a bit aggressive now. Oh, Philly in the Philippines? I mean, I don't know what this look of his. He looks like a fucking pirate. I think he should wear a striped shirt and put a parrot on his shoulder. He's got those dark eyes and a very ominous looking guy. You know, the one stupid thing he did, since we're near the end of the year, and I'm practically wiped off YouTube anyway here. Let me tell you something. If you needed a penis pump, would you tell people on YouTube? Now, supposedly this is a true story that he said himself. Why would you tell anybody that you need a penis pump? I think that's just a bit too personal. Well, Philly belongs on Walking Street. That's where he got all his excitement from. Now he's out in the boons. It doesn't look like the fanciest house either. But he makes good money, though. You know, he gets his pension. He's not old enough to get Social Security yet. He'll get that too if he lives that long. You know, and he's making some probably halfway decent money on his show. I hear stories like this. These people got good money coming in, but they're crying that well, you see what they're living in. Look, let me tell you something. You know, it worked out for me, but, you know, my retiring years, when I left my last job, that was it. No matter what the reason was, I left. And I left to go live in the most beautiful place in the country called Hawaii. I followed my dreams. I started out early, wasn't making a lot of money, I had a Social Security deal going on, I had a little bit of rent money coming in. It was okay. Um, I followed my dreams and, you know, got my shit together. And after my little stint in Hawaii, I moved to the Philippines, but I had a reason to come here. I didn't go blindsided like Kevin did, and like actually Philly in the Philippines did. He's not a country boy. He's not a country boy. What's his disability? What is his disability anyway? Since we're on the subject. And living there with no power and who knows when it's going to come back. Oh, I can't afford a generator. His back? I don't know. That guy does more walking around than most people. Anything's wrong with his back? Yeah, I know another person that says, yeah, he's disabled. I got a bad back. I was thrown against a fucking light post. Nothing wrong with his back. If you could mount a woman on your fucking lap, and if you could ride a motorcycle 100 miles, there ain't nothing wrong with your back, Jack. That's what I say. I think I like Kristen Sabu. Probably did 1,000 videos on Fuente Circle. Well, he was a rascal. There's a lot you don't know about him. But I'm one of the curious people to find out what happened with him, but nobody seems to really know about that. There are many expats solely counting on YouTube rugby. I know that's pretty sad. You bought a 2,200 kilowatt Honda inverter generator. Oh, cool. Oh, mine's just a piece of shit, but it works. It's 3,500 watts. It's an older generator, but it's still working. It powers up everything in the house. I probably need a new one. I know I need a new one. But, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So until it totally dies on me, then I'm not even going to think about that. Was he in the USA? I don't know what you mean. Was he in the USA? He's in Philippines. You talk about Philly in the Philippines. He's kind of an odd character though. I don't know what's with that fucking bandana shit, that headkerchief, whatever, that fucking whatever you want to call it. Just like that one guy who became a citizen of the Philippines, you know, because he spoke Filipino and all that shit. He's constantly with that same fucking little headband on. And he can certainly afford to buy a new headband or find a different style, but hey, whatever. We got some really odd people out here. You either got a good channel or you don't. Look at 8 Miles from Home. They got it figured out. They're British. I don't know what he is. He's British. I don't know if he's half black or what he is. He's dark skinned. He's got that kinky hair. I keep on telling him, get a fucking haircut, man. Then he puts that beard on. He looks like he lives on the street or something. But I don't know much about their characters. Oh, I don't know much about it. Never met them. But they got a smart kid. They got a very intelligent kid. I got to say that. They've done a very good job with her. And their dog, Poppy. Poppy. There's a lot of question about them during the big events and weather events that supposedly, you know, they kind of pilfered a certain amount of money for themselves, how they're able to buy cars and property and all that shit. But then I hear a lot of that on here, a whole lot of that. He turned 7 months ago. He has been mostly quiet. He talked about Philly in the Philippines. Yeah, I deal with Do XMas over here. That's where I bought my appliances, Do XMas. Gigante. Normal price is 65K, but they gave me 12. Wow, he spent a lot of money on that. Yeah. Oh, mine's just a piece of shit. I bought it from a guy that was going to be moving. I bought a sofa chair and generator and a weed eater. I wound up selling the weed eater later on because I do got a bad back, and me leaning over with this thing, even had the strap on my shoulder, was putting too much weight on my lower back. And believe me, my skeletal structure is pretty fucked up. For real, not a story made up. It's for fucking real. Disc space is disappearing, and spondyle this and spondylolisthesis that, and just whatever, man. I'm the real McCoy. I'm not making up stories that I was on a disability because I fooled the system or something. I mean, my back's pretty fucked up. Philly definitely has that Herman Munster thing going. Yeah. Oh, it's quiet too, huh? Yeah, nice, nice. I need a bigger refrigerator, really. One thing at a time. One step at a time, sweet Jesus. I know my lady ain't too happy with me doing a couple of shows after a couple of weeks and not doing anything, but she's not really upset with me on it. It's just to look at me and say, I know that look. Oh, you're on again, and that kind of thing. That's a yes or no answer on that. Is that all the lights you have on the tree? Huh? Is that all the lights you have on the tree? That's it? Okay.
You have a big yard, so that's why you get a lot of
Lots of new
lights.
vloggers on the scene, yeah. Oh, yeah, we got lights all over the outside. We had some carolers, whatever, come by earlier. How many? 5 of them. We're kind of in a good spot, so we don't have to. We don't always have a whole bunch of Christmas carolers coming here. If we were more toward the center of town or some other location, we'd have a lot. We'd have a lot, but we haven't had. There's going to be a quiet Christmas, but the 4th of the month, it's not going to be quiet because, have it, you know, pretty much most of the family down here. So we ordered a buffet style thing, and quite frankly, they don't, to deal with that. It's all Filipino related food, and there's really no Western food. There really isn't. I might wind up having, I don't know what I could eat in there. There'll be some chicken curry. I guess I'll have some of that, and I don't eat the pork, and I don't. So, with that fan on too, dear? Thank you. So, for me, it's not a feast. If there was some Americanized food in there, I'd be hitting a joy mark. I would love it, but We've had so many of these buffets on different occasions here that I know what's going to be there. I know exactly what's going to be. The only thing that'll interest me is if we had a cake there or some kind of sweets or something. I'll get drawn toward that. Once you stop diving, then you'll move. I don't know much about Valencia at all. As you know, I'm not a big traveler all over the Philippines, and I'm not having a problem with that. There may come a day when I can't travel at all. I don't know, but shit, it's all about the beaches for most people anyway. And as I said, I don't live far from the beaches and resorts, so do I have to travel and pay a lot of money and go to some location that has another beach? And also tourists. I don't like to go to popular beaches anyway. I don't want to be around a shitload of tourists. Watch all the trash they're leaving behind and kids screaming and, that's just not me. I'm not your typical tourist. Let's put it that way. When I was traveling across the USA, I met a German couple. I traveled with them, backpackers. We hung around a while and we went to Blanding, Utah, which is a little in the middle of nowhere in Utah. I kind of ditched them after that because we went a few places, but they were always very touristy. I kind of like the off the beaten path places, just like when I met these two dudes in Colorado. I think I showed you that picture. I'm up above Boulder Falls, and we actually climbed up the side of the falls. I can't remember every detail of it. It was pretty high. I was hanging with a backpack on and with a tripod. I'm hanging on to branches and brush and everything else. I've done a few things that were adventurous, some stupid things, but so we got to the top of Boulder Falls, and you look down in the cars, you see the streets look like ants. It's pretty high up, actually, Boulder Falls. And then I went to Pueblo Caves, I've been to White Sands Monument. That was an eerie experience. I ain't saying it's that part of White Sands where they did the testing of the bombs, but I went from town, got a taxi cab ride, take me to White Sands Monument, I said, come back in a couple of hours. He did. Thank goodness for that. Here I am, I'm standing on an ocean of gypsum. Looks like snow, white. It'll blind you if you didn't wear sunglasses. And all I can see is these ripples in the sand. Lucky there's no snakes. And you could look out to these mountains, which were kind of pale and bluish colored, because there was some atmosphere apparently out there, even though it was a desert. But you look out toward the mountains. And I was the only one there. Solace, like I never had before in my life. It was an incredible experience. Nobody there who wants to be there. But I wanted to snap a few pictures, and I didn't snap enough. I actually lost a lot of my negatives on that too, actually. Sorry, I haven't been following the comments here. So I haven't been looking at my comments here. Oh, I don't give a shit what Big E does. He's a polygamist or whatever the hell you want to call him. Overstay Road seems to have stopped drinking and raising his kids, 2 wives. He stopped drinking and he's raising. Oh, okay. Yeah, I did check out Phil Ann Mike. Yeah, she's living the high life now. She's loving every minute of it. Her mother passed away, so she was able to do that. I don't know what her relationship is with the guy, but that's her business, And like Overstay Road, I don't understand him either. He lives in the biggest dives, and I don't understand that. He gets a military pension, right? Right? He had books that he sold, and, he's pretty inventive, right? So Why? This is a question I have all the time. If you're retired, and you don't have to be retirement age, but if you're in a position to be retired, why aren't you living a better life? Because that guy has lived in some dives, man. I don't understand it. I'm not going to pretend that I do, or should I really even care? But as I told you, people on here are very strange. Very strange. Very strange. Let's see. John Doe has two wives. John Doe's still alive? Oh, yeah, he calls himself Phil M. Mike, and his introduction is that although he's not a Phil Am, he's not a Filipino, he calls himself Phil Am because he tries to see himself as a Filipino and American. You either are or you're not. And some of his shows are not even shows. He might point his camera to something, and that's his show. He might even not even say much. Sometimes and he has a lot of subs too. I don't understand it myself. I really don't. I don't know what attracts anybody to his show at all. I have no clue. No clue at all. And then you got these guys that are really unhealthy. What is it now? What's his name? Supposedly had a heart attack and stroke. Um, the guy that was wanted to buy a cruise liner. Mark. Okay, yeah, Mark. Okay. They're dropping like flies, man. You gotta understand something. We're talking about retirees, okay? What do you expect? Okay, you get an advanced age, but and that could do you in on its own, natural causes. But um, if you're not living a healthy lifestyle or even have a resemblance of a healthy lifestyle, and you're overweight, I always emphasize this, you're going to develop all kinds of problems. Why move here if you're going to have the same lifestyle that you had when you lived in Western culture? I know the beer and liquor is cheaper here. They could drink more. That'll put weight on. I've seen with some popular vloggers and some notorious vloggers what they eat on here, and it's not very impressive. And I say, and I also say to myself, why should I care? But I can't help just commenting on that. You retire, right? You're supposed to live a decent life, maybe a little better financially than you lived in the States because, everything is unaffordable in the United States, right? And you come here because the housing is cheap, but you come here with pre-existing health conditions or maybe zero emergency money, meaning zero. What do they expect, really? I don't know. CW, I know where I don't know what kind of work. I know he works in the United Arab Republic. I don't know if he working on oil rigs or oil or whatever. Whatever. I don't know what he does. Oh, I know he's not happy with Barry. I could tell you that, but he don't like me at all. 4 days ago, what? What is it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Who's next? I don't even want to venture to think. I'm pretty good at figuring those things out, having to do with lifestyle and everything, but I can't pinpoint it. I don't have a magic ball, a magic glass globe that can tell me all. But about that other thing, I was talking about Philly in the Philippines. Why did he? It's beyond me. Why would you tell people that you have to use a penis pump? Did you guys hear this too? This is a long time ago. Why in the world would you? I mean, we all get personal here and there about this and that, but why would you ever say that you have to use a penis pump? My God. I never understood that. That's something you don't talk to anybody about. I would never, if that never happened. My God, no. I would never have that done. I'd rather not have sex at all than have to go pump up my penis with a fucking squeeze, rubber squeeze thing. I gotta look up a picture of one of these things. God, that it's like blowing up a doll or something. Oh man, I think that would turn a woman off to not want to have sex with you if you have to go through that. Steven says, I wonder what the ratio is when foreigners go to the Philippines and return back in the home country. I bet it's pretty high. Yeah, a lot of them die before they do. You know, well, as I said, coming here obese, coming here with, bad metabolics, coming here with drinking habits and so forth, pre-existing conditions is not the wisest thing to do. I don't even know if I'd had to. I'd probably go to Guam or something if I had to have something serious done. They have a few good hospitals up. They're not the greatest, but Medicare works there. But some of these guys have zero money at all. I mean, when I had my lovely kidney stone situation, which is very painful, by the way, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, and I'm serious. And I do mean anybody. That includes everybody. You know, I'd have no insurance. I wasn't shitting when I said it cost me close to, it was over 400,000 between everything. So I had to go there a couple of times for procedures, and they charge you for cotton swabs. Every time somebody comes in the room for something to take your blood pressure, they come in the room. Middle of the fucking night, you're trying to sleep. You finally get asleep. It's bad enough I had a catheter hanging off me, which I hate catheters, right? You got this drip on there. And drip bag, intravenous, and you're all tied up and you can't really move. And then somebody's got to come, you finally fall asleep, and somebody comes home, got to take your blood pressure. I said, look, I'm still alive. I'm just trying to get some sleep. They charge you for everything. No, Guam is expensive. Yeah, I know, because when I went to Guam, I was actually had a layover there and I was outside. So I could actually say I've been to Guam because I went outside to smoke and talking to people and in line too. And I asked, was it cheap to live? And they said, oh no, it's a U.S. territory and their rents are high and they get a lot of storms there too. It's not a big place, not a big island. And oh no, their prices are quite exaggerated. They're really high. Guam is not a place you want to live in. From people I talk to, even that short time I've been there, they said there is no cheap housing out there. None. I'd only go there if I had to go to a hospital or something, unless I know that something could be taken care of in Cebu. But if it was going to cost me a huge fortune, I'll go to fucking Guam. Now, look what I went through. It's not a big, terrible procedure I went through with a kidney stone. It was very uncomfortable in a lot of ways that I won't go into again, but just trust me when I tell you, what I experienced was not comfortable at all, before and after. But I had to pay cash. Cash has to come from somewhere. It doesn't grow on trees. And that's why you got to have some emergency money in a bank. That's what it's for. Or legal things or whatever. That's what it's for. And believe me, I had to have this shit done. Because I could have died. You know why? Because I did have an infection because of the stone that was irritating the urethra, which went to the kidney, and I could have had sepsis. And if that bacteria goes through your blood system, you'll die. So it was necessary. It was very necessary. I'll do things when they're necessary. And I don't understand why old dog is still wearing sunglasses either. Look, I had cataract surgery a bunch of years ago in my right eye. No big shit. It wasn't even laser. The only reason I wore sunglasses was when I was leaving the place. You know, my eyes were dilated and all that shit, and you had to wear sunglasses. Now, why the hell he has to wear sunglasses, I have no idea how long he's been wearing them. I think I know why, because I think he had his eye bags worked on. He doesn't want to see everybody see his bruises, because he will bruise up with that, because he was talking about having his eye bags taken care of. But I've never heard of anybody having to wear eyeglasses that long. As I said, I've had cataract surgery. I can speak from experience. I Am Big Buddy says, who remembers Bubba's Visa Run video with his brown shirt, went and came back in less than 2 hours? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he went on a visa run. Yeah. Came back and in 2 hours. Nothing happens in 2 hours in the Philippines. Nothing. And I do mean nothing. Nothing. Oh my God. You can't even get to a CR at a mall in 2 hours sometimes, but I don't know. Try getting on a governmental line somewhere. You're very fortunate if you could, take care of business in 2 hours. Oh, no. He's a funny guy. What can I say? Very confused, funny guy. We'll see. He'll be laughing. I don't know. Maybe we'll both get kicked out of the fucking country. Maybe we get a room together. What do you think? Good idea. We'll get a room together. Now that would be something. Yeah, it's a laugh too, I know. Oh God, we kill each other. Wow. Well, she is going to have a liquor glass in their hand or a knife in their pocket. Oh, I was going to hit him, man. I meant it. I was going to throw that glass in his head. I never put no knife to no waitress. I would never do anything like that. No, of course not. I'll let you people read a Bear Called Wilbur's comment. So I'll just get blamed for saying something I didn't say. No comment on that one, Mr. A Bear Called Wilbur. Wilbur. I don't know. I just can't see anybody wasting their life when it's going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just me, but 2 thumbs up. Well, you people are generous. Other than today, earlier, I haven't been on for a couple of weeks. I just get 2 thumbs up. I thought you were so enthusiastic to hear me on. Apparently not. Don't worry about that. Soon it'll all be over. One way or the other. Oh, yeah. 25,000 pesos. That's going to solve everything. You couldn't shine my shoes for 25K pesos. Now off your 25K. Yeah, right. I bet you'd love that. I think he was being serious, too. I know somebody that'll lend me 25K. He's got about 12,000 in the bank right now. It would be a lot more than that, but some of it he does have to use. Because truthfully, his girlfriend can't. He's talked about it the other day. His girlfriend came over with 1,000. I don't know. She's not realized that he's got his Social Security the whole time. That's not a good relationship when you're going to lie to your partner like that. That's my opinion. But whatever, No, it was 25,000 pesos, man. Yeah, right. He needs to give it to his girlfriend who spent a lot of money on him. That's what he needs to do for somebody he loves so much. $25,000 pesos. Yeah, right. Why don't I come over there and give him a bat too and cut his toenails on top of it? 25,000 pesos, my fucking lily white ass. He's always talking about that thing where I mooned Gary. He must love my ass or something, because all he does is talk about that. Like that has any relevance to the case at all. So I mooned somebody. Fuck, you guys never did that back in college or just playing around with your buddies, some people, you're in a car or something, you moon somebody. That was a kind of a trend going back in those days. You don't hear it much these days, but they still do it. So big deal, I showed my fucking ass. My nice, wrinkle-free, peachy ass. He must have been turned on by that, because that's all he does is talk about my ass. Wait till the judge hears that. Wait till the judge hears that. What's the judge going to do? What was the judge going to do? Oh, what about his ass? So he showed his ass. Okay, what pertinence does it have to this, how is it relevant to this case? I don't fucking know. If you want to answer that, go ahead. I have no freaking idea. I have none. Chump change. Yeah, $25K for all the shit? Yeah, even Popeye's scooter costs more than that. Yeah. 25K. All the shit he put on me? It's just a word. It's just a word. I'm an American. I have rights. Well, you got rights in America. You're not in America. You're in the Philippines. They got their own set of rules here. If you can't follow them, then you just wind up in a situation like he's in now. American on American. I could understand if it was a Filipino. I could understand if it was a business or a politician. The law applies to everyone. Everyone. I haven't even looked at Nico. Nico's show was so fucking boring. In my most boring times, I can't even bring myself to go there. Yeah, his girlfriend was buying brisket on her last Facebook post. There's no money problems. No. How do you think he gained that much weight? Because he's starving? Obviously not. That guy put on probably 40 pounds, from my observation. He ain't starving. He just admitted the other day his girlfriend threw him 1,000 pesos. That's not fair for her. She's trying to stay alive with her business and all that stuff, and she's got to support his ass in jail? I don't know. Yeah, nobody wants to talk about Roberto, not even Popeye. I think somebody knows somebody, but they don't want me to know what happened. I think it's all on the QT. To shove it under the rug, because it is very unusual for Roberto not to make a lame comment about me, not to do some kind of show knocking me or threatening me. Something went down with Roberto. That's 100% sure. What went down? I really don't know, because nobody wants to talk about it. Ah, this Judge Kubota. Hey, Judge Kubota. There he is. Brevis biscuit. Big spender Brevis brings some fries and brisket sandwich. Wow, he really put out that time, didn't he? Brevis is the Bitcoin millionaire or something. Brevis. What a character, man. Drew Norrie. What a background he has, too. It's a shame what he did with his life, though. He went to an Ivy League fucking school, and then he winds up working in a marijuana dispensary. And something happened at that point. When he talked to me, I had the feeling he said it was a good thing he left when he did. He didn't elaborate on it. He said moving out here basically saved his life, and he didn't want to elaborate on it. So everything kind of comes together now. So he had a restraining order on some guy. and for his family. So he got into some big ass trouble with the wrong people, which forced him to flee from California. Something went down, that's for sure. We've seen the papers. For him to get a restraining order, he was scared of something. Oh, I don't remember him saying that. Yeah, I would suspect that either he broke up with his wife. I don't know. I don't know. He wasn't in the best health, and he was overweight a good part of his life, and he had that gastro bypass, whatever, which always causes trouble later on in somebody's life when you do that. I said it. I'm the one that said it a long time ago. Nobody listens to me, but I seem to know what I'm talking about. Something went down because Roberto does not stay silent, period. Now, he could be on as a troll, or maybe his wife laid the law down on him or something. Who knows? But something went down with Roberto. I'm 100% sure of that. As to what, I'll probably never know. I wouldn't care less if he was. That's an ornery son of a bitch, that guy. Oh, he threatened both me and Gilda. Said she worked in a bar. She had a lot of lovely things about her and me. But that good old fashioned karma probably came through. Did for Fazio. Maybe it did for Roberto. And by the way, what is this about me losing cases? I want to get that straightened out before I totally get off YouTube here. Let's talk about that for a second. Okay, Fazio tried to put a case on me with the NBI. Fazio couldn't produce the evidence, so the case was dismissed. Period. That was it. I didn't lose anything. Where did I lose a case? And the only thing they're making reference to is a civil case in Hawaii. That's the only thing I actually ever lost, but that's because I wasn't physically there. There were circumstances why. But nevertheless, I'll bite on that. Fazio's case, I didn't lose anything. He tried to put a case on me, but it didn't work because he didn't have the evidence. Where did I lose on that? They say Frank's putting cases on everybody. Who's everybody? I didn't put a case on Fazio. He tried to put a case on me. I never put a case on him. And he lost because he couldn't produce the evidence. Okay? So where's all this thing about all these cases I'm putting against all these people? The only other case I got going is with some guy handling this in Bogo. He might even be in America right now. It's another, slanderous type of case. I told you, man, I put my foot down when it's due. If I don't have to, then I don't put my foot down on something. If I don't have to. If I had to put my foot down on everything, there'd be a lot of people going to court. But it just takes a special case. I'm not making court cases all over the planet, as people imply. Oh, yeah, Ed Lippett's gone. Yeah. What's this here? Mike Kason's gone. Fazio's gone. Ed Lippett's gone. Roberto might be gone. Ricky, it's just a matter of time. Man, I just think Ricky doesn't give a shit about anything. That's what I think. I really think he knows he's out of control. And if it means him buying women and shit like that, that's exactly what he's going to do. And you know what? And I'm not sticking up for him. It's his right to do what he wants to do, really. That thing with the lady boy, though, that just killed it for him, though. But the thing is, he could do whatever he wants with his money. If he can't get a woman any other way, how's he going to get a woman except to buy him? So what are you going to do? You'd rather be alone or just, even though it's all pretentious and all that. I don't know. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Phelps is in a PIO this time. She has family, his wife and all that. So I really wouldn't be surprised. I think they moved back. They're just being very quiet. He's probably one of the trolls on here, actually. I have a suspicion that he is. Well, Ed Lippett, what was the deal with him? Was a heart attack or something, right? He's a bit overweight, I guess, and I think he did drink. I know he was a smoker. He had a lot going against him, really. Yeah. So, Mike Kaysen, Michael Fazio, Ed Lippett, possibly Roberto. There was a couple of other YouTubers, I think, that died. Um, I don't remember everybody. It's it's time. It's age. It's your current health condition or how you've taken care of yourself or not having taken care of yourself. It always turns out to be a lot of them turn out to be the trolls that are kicking it. Toothless Terry, guys. Warren Hunt is alive. He always had. I'm surprised he's not dead though. He was huge. He was huge. I saw a guy in town here a couple times. He's either a tourist, he's living here. Kind of on the tall side. He was a big guy with a big ass stomach. And let me tell you, his thighs were like a tree trunk. That's how big they were. I mean, huge. Huge. I don't know how he walked around. And it's not the first time I've seen things like this. Fred Beltran. Did you know I'm the one that came up with his name and found out who he was? Did you guys know that? I'm the one that figured out that he was Fred Beltran. Just trying to get the record straight on air before I'm completely off. I want to get the record straight everywhere around. Yeah, I'm the one that found out who he was. I'm the one. I don't think so. I haven't listened to her. Every now and then I'll just say, what she's up to. Yeah, she's still on the overweight side, eating candy. And all I ever remember about her, and it's so obvious, is two things. That every time she's on camera, she was eating. And the other thing I remember is the amount of gifts and everything when she was really popular that people were sending, and a lot of it was food and candy, and she was eating it all. No wonder she gained weight. And you think Freddie Boy, her boyfriend, is being honest with her? You think he's being faithful? Well, Mr. Judge Kubota, it's in the cards, Fun in the Philippines passed away years ago. I don't remember Fun in the Philippines. As I said, they're dropping like flies. Yeah, did you notice that? Swampcast DQ. Well, I'm not going to say on here, but I have an idea who it's been the whole time. It's all related. But I'm not going to put out my thoughts on that. I believe I do know who it is. But you're right, Swampcast DQ has not been on. But I have a good idea who it is, but I don't want to say. That's not because I don't know. I just don't want to say. I want to keep that to myself, like an ace in my back pocket. Yeah, that's true. Popeye's missing out a couple of my shows. I haven't been on for a couple of weeks. He's probably saying, damn, I missed it. Or maybe he's recording me right now. Another sad sack. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to say this, but you know it to be true. We got some fucking incredible losers on YouTube in this community. They are all so fucked up in so many ways. God, it's a Jerry Springer show on here, Speaking of Jerry Springer, John Blaze has been doing less shows. I think his wife, here's the thing. Okay. How do we even know he had a girlfriend or even got married? We don't even know that. There's a lot you don't know about him. I think he's like an AP, whatever, mechanic for helicopters. I might believe that to be true. How do we know he even has a girlfriend? If he was proud of what he had, how come he don't put her on camera? She don't have to be a regular on here. Show them together on camera. He hasn't done that. Oh, I don't want to get her involved in all this. He wants to get involved in everybody else's business, especially my own. You can't believe anything Larry says. You can't believe anything he says. How he's living the high life and all this other stuff. You can't buy that shit. It's only 8 o'clock. When the lights are low. So you turn on the ceiling fan, you turn down the lights. Are you going to bed early?
No, just like
Oh, you just want to relax. You've been busy all day. My goodness. Yeah, relax a little bit. You've been quite busy. Oh, yeah, that's right. Jack Thompson, another one. Right, Jack Thompson. Let's not forget Jack Thompson. He was a real asshole. Yeah, Uncle Jesse's still alive. Yeah, 1,000 subscribers. He was supposed to show his face. Yeah. Uncle Jesse, I guess Uncle Jesse ran away from where they lived because their neighbors were endangering him. He complained about some neighbors who were blasting their karaoke, and he got mad. And of course, he complained. They went and wrecked his bike, dented it up. So now they're living in a better place, actually. They were living in I don't know, they owned that little piece of land or something, that little shack they were building. He was building it up, wasn't he? Now he's living in a little bit better environment of an actual apartment somewhere. So he basically ran away from where he lived. Since you mentioned Uncle Jesse, that's what happened. Yeah, he got scared and ran away. Same thing in Hawaii, man. You don't tell Hawaiians or locals. I'll just say locals because not all of them are Hawaiian. They think they're Hawaiian because they were born there, but most so-called Hawaiians are, there's very few of them, real Hawaiians with real blood. They mostly live in the United States. I don't know about even call it Hawaii anymore. There's not any Hawaiians there anymore. But, nevertheless, you were not going to tell a bunch of drug addict, high, loud music players, partiers in Hawaii to tone it down because they were not going to do that. There's no way. You'll be in big trouble. I remember this one guy who was Portuguese, bald head, stout, looked like a walking muscle, but he was on the older side. And his daughter rented my studio apartment there before my brother did. My brother was staying with me. And before she left, she had given me a deposit. I don't know, was it $300 or something? And she tried to sneak her boyfriend in there. This was only a little contract, whatever, which is for her, but doesn't mean she can't have visitors. Of course she could. That wasn't the problem, really, but the problem was that, when she left the place, my accordion doors, wood, slotted doors to the closet, the hinges were broken. She left the place really filthy. So I held back her deposit, rightfully so. So I get a call from him, and she was in the room with him at the house or whatever, her father. It's her father. He says, how come you no pay, brah, her deposit? I said, I didn't pay her deposit because she broke my doors and the place was filthy. So he turns to his daughter and said, did you break the doors? Talking pigeon, Then he still turns around and says, well, I'm going to be there tomorrow morning. You make sure you got her deposit. You don't want to fuck around with me, brah, he says. And I remember him coming in front of the house, revving his engine early in the morning. Oh, yeah, he showed up early in the morning. and he had a big old truck, and he was revving his engine like a motherfucker, man, to get my attention to show he was pissed. And you're right, I didn't want to deal with him. Too connected. I just turned to my brother, and he turned to me too, says, just fuck it, give her back her goddamn deposit. Okay, brah, thank you. And he took off. He tried to put the fear of God in me, is what he did. He did a pretty good job of it, really. Because those boys there, they're connected. They are connected. Don't fuck with shit like that. Don't believe any pictures you see in Blaze either. Okay. Ricky's the biggest liar. Did you hear what he said he's going to make $9,000 a month starting the new year? Who believes his bullshit? You can't believe anybody on here, man. Ricky don't even have 50 grand in the bank. He's spending it on the ladies and the lady boys. Yeah, Ricky's got a problem, that's for sure. If you haven't figured it out yet. I don't know who doesn't have a problem on here. Let's be real about it. We got some really interesting characters on YouTube in this community. If you haven't figured that out yet. When the lights are low. Who sung that one? When the lights are low. Wasn't Barry, what's his name? With the deep voice. No, it's some country singer or something. When the lights are low. Ricky lives in the $200 fan room. I don't know, if he was living that large, I mean, he wouldn't be in that dump he's in. It's almost like Section 8 housing. Philippine style. Yeah, look, you just can't believe everything everybody says on here, obviously. So, I think you guys figured it out by now, right? How many lies have we heard from many people on here, right? Have I met any expats that I really actually like? I never met many expats. It was not my thing. I met Mick Fisher, and at first I thought he was all right, but then he was talking a lot of shit about me later on, and he was on a fact-finding mission, actually, is what it was. I figured out, so I stopped communicating with him, and then he, didn't have a kind word to say about me after that. I thought he was okay, but, I've been wrong before. Mick Fisher does not stand behind me. In fact, he's given a lot of money to the other guy that needs it right now. Yeah. Yeah, expat. Yeah, expat. I gotcha. Oh, I've talked to expats. I've met many of them. Not ones from YouTube, if that's what you mean, but there's expats everywhere around here. There's one guy I really like. He's from Switzerland. He's in bad shape. He had a stroke. He's about 82. Went to see him last week. Now he's bedridden, so I got to go over there one more time to see him. He's a big guy. I don't know. He's at least 6'4". It's got to be. No, he's a big guy. Absolutely. I think he is about 6'4", at least. At least. He's very scarce on here, but no, I've met up a couple times with him, but he had visited here, and we did go a few places, had breakfast together, bought me breakfast, and me and Gilda, and we went to this little resort place near this, what do you want to call it? It's in between the ocean and a little cove. And we ate lunch there. Oh, he's a big boy. Oh, he's a big boy. There's no doubt about that. Of course, Big E is bigger than him. It's not good to be that tall. I've talked about it before. You got more problems with your joints and heart and everything else when you are extraordinarily tall. Seriously. Oh, he did scare Ricky. He certainly did. He said Ricky's face turned white or something. Oh, it's okay. I was just kidding. I was just kidding. I don't know. Ricky could easily kick my ass. You know, you would think. But when I met up with him in SNR, I did the video. You seen it? I laid it on him. I said, "Hey, I'm here right now. You talking shit about me here, cold cock? Do what the fuck you want, big guy." And you know I'm not lying, right? You saw the video. He had his chance. Why didn't he do something? Why did he do something? Whatever. Nobody's looking to get into any, including me. Nobody's looking to get into a physical confrontation with anybody. I'm not stupid. I'm not a young man anymore. You think I would voluntarily get into some physical confrontation with somebody other than the other guy? No names mentioned. I would welcome that opportunity. But I wouldn't start it. No, I wouldn't start it. That's not the way it works for me. Not living out here. Not living out here. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Talk is cheap, you know. I'm 20 years older than this one guy, and I can still kick his ass from here to fucking bumfuck Egypt. I have absolutely no doubt in my mind. Zero doubt. Because despite my age, I know my capabilities. I know how long I could last. I know that I'd have to do something and it would have to be done very quick. I just don't have that kind of stamina I used to have. And that goes with age. At least I'm honest about it. Brevis the baby maker. Hey, we're having a gossip show tonight, aren't we? Baby Huey, Larry Liempo said. I think you should stay with that one girl that looks like him, man. I swear to God, I don't know what I thought. They both got the space between their teeth. They looked alike. They were both kind of on the overweight. Kind of they were. That was a perfect mate for Ricky. My opinion. I'm not even sure it was a woman. I'm not even sure of that. So I'm not going to make a lame statement and say it's not a woman. But he's kind of surprised us before, hasn't he? You made it to 70, a bear called Wilbur says. Not many people do. Yeah, I got to pat myself on the back for that. It's really interesting. I thought about this a lot, the mortality thing. How did so many years go by? I always make this crazy statement, like if I've been in a coma for like 20 years or something, 30 years. I'm the same person, man. That's the thing about me. I might be an older dude, but you can tell the way I talk and everything else about me. I even walk fast. I'm energetic. Although lately I haven't felt a lot of energy lately, the past 3 days. I'm feeling better now, but I'm much better now. But, yeah, sometimes I amaze myself. If you want to be old, you can be old. It's a state of mind. If you want to act like Popeye and dress like Popeye and go to bingo, then you're fucking old. You're old. You're old. Yeah, I thought about that shit too. Do you realize by the age 30 or 40 you lose, what is it? How much percentage each year of testosterone that you lose? So by the time you're my age, what do you got? 15% testosterone or something, if you're lucky. Yeah, there is some things that are not really cool about getting older. Your hormone levels change as well as women too. And man, but I thought about that shit. I thought about that. Yeah, 3% a year. Jesus Christ, man. That's why I kind of laugh, when these much older expats come in and say, "Yeah, I'm getting 5 women a week. I'm getting laid." No, you're not. I don't know what you're doing, but you're probably not getting laid. I'm sorry. And I ain't gonna talk about my sex life, but one thing I could say is I'm not jumping on the bun every fucking day. I'd be lying through my teeth. Hell no. Hell no. When you are in your teens and your 20s, especially your teens, it's all you think about. I think a scientist or something said that you have sex on your mind every 15 seconds, I think was his statement. You get so horny that if there was a hole in the wall, you'd probably stick it in there. It's not a Ferris Bueller's day off or something, it's not, it's not a Ferris Bueller thing, but nah, you lose it, man. You lose a lot of things as you get older. A lot of people totally lose their mobility, which is really horrible. That's one thing you don't want to lose is your mobility. That's why I want to work more on my legs, because that's what holds you up. And I must be real honest with that. I have not been really working on the legs other than walking type stuff, but I need more than that. More than that. Many 50-year-olds in the West do not get action. 50, huh? Look, not everybody's telling you the real story about shit. Oh, like that's something new on here, right? They're not telling you, they're professing their sexual prowess. They're all full of shit. They're all full of shit. Half these people can't even get it up. I mean, look at Ricky. Showed that bowl full of fucking Viagra. Jesus Christ. I mean, look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If he needs Viagra, then why not, if it gets the job done? But Philly in the Philippines talking about needing a penis pump? I know I heard that story that he said that. This is not something I'm making up. Who would tell anybody about that? Would you? I say hell no. Why would you tell anybody that? That's just a little bit too private and personal. I don't know. That's between you and your woman, man. I don't know, by the time he pumps it up, his woman is probably saying, oh, I'm out of the mood now, after watching that. When the lights are low. When the lights are low. When the lights are low. Do 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 do. Let's see. All kinds of medications can affect you in one way or the other. Even antihistamines can affect you. There's a lot of things that can affect you. Excuse me. And you can't win. You can't win all the time. Your body degenerates as you get older. Your disc space, everything. Hey, man, I lost 2 inches in my life, I used to be a tits hair at 5'8" was my average height. And I'm barely 5'7" because of the disc space, the deterioration. Shit happens, man. Plus, I got a touch of scoliosis, so that there's a curvature. I could talk about that, but Jesus Christ, I wouldn't go in there saying I use a penis pump like Philly did. Oh my God. You need your blood to circulate walking. Yeah, exactly, yeah. I'm just starting to get back into it again. Because with all this shit going on with the kidney stone, I wasn't able to do anything really. They said, no, not to do this exercise. You had a stent in there and all this crap, and that was so uncomfortable. I had to piss so many times you wouldn't believe it. And unfortunately, while I had the stent in, every time you had to go urinate, there'd be this back pressure that would go to your kidney. And believe me, you'd feel it. You didn't look forward to pissing. I went through that for a long time. I had that stent in there for 3 months before I had that taken out. It wasn't comfortable. Ouch is right. There's a lot of ouches with that. So I'm trying to drink more water and all that stuff. But then they say, don't eat this kind of food. There's too much oxalates in it. You can get more kidney stones again. I don't want to get it again. Like I said, if it's coming out of my mouth and I'm saying that I don't wish this on my worst enemy, then you know that it hurt when that thing acted up. So for 3 months or more, I mean, I was in so much discomfort all the time. Because it felt almost like if you ever had a UTI, men don't get it as much as women, but they get it. And it feels like you got pressure down there, like you got to pee, even though you don't have to pee. That's uncomfortable. Then when you do pee, you feel that back pressure. So the stent in there, back pressure goes over back to your kidney, then comes back forward so you could pee it out. And you'd feel that pain in your kidney. Get the pump. Jesus. Who's going to admit to that? I don't understand that at all. I had to use something like that. I wouldn't admit that on YouTube to anyone. There's some things you just don't talk about. But if that's the only thing that works for him, if it's right with his woman, I guess what's the problem, I guess. But it's just something you don't really talk about. And he did say that. It's my understanding. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I know I heard it. Well, apparently so, I am Big Buddy. There's a lot of things you don't know about YouTubers out there, and they're not going to come right out and tell you it. The people out here that critique other YouTubers all the time are the ones that probably have more problems than the very people they're critiquing all the time. You're not going to hear about everything in their life. Maybe they're not getting all these women that they're telling you are. They're having this great life in the Philippines or otherwise, where they live. They might have a lot of skeletons in their closets, but they're not going to talk about it. Because they want to keep up this image that, they got their shit together and everybody else is all fucked up. They're not going to tell you outright anything. That's why you got to watch what you talk about on here. Yeah. Because they'll utilize that against you. There's no doubt about that. They'll bring it up. Look what happened with me. No matter what I talk about, right? There's people actually sit there with pen and paper besides recording. They'll make notes on this day. Well, Fazio was great for that. What was his famous saying? Let me take out my my pad or something. Oh, let me get to my notes. Let me pull out my notes. That was pretty bad. But one of the stupidest things that ever happened to him, well, besides one of them, he climbed a cheap ladder, and there was a bucket from the excavator with the big teeth on it. And the sucker fell off that ladder against the teeth of that bucket. And he actually showed that on camera. That guy had some bruises like I've never seen before in my life. He was purpled up all over his butt side. Didn't even go to the hospital. He had Daisy take care of him. He didn't want to spend a fucking peso on anything. He could have got blood clotting or something with that. I mean, edema or something. I don't know. I mean, that's, you get a bruise like he did. You get an instant shock, your adrenaline. I know because I didn't have that big of a fall, but I remember when I had slipped on the bed of my truck in Hawaii. I had just gotten this truck, and it was dirty, the bed in there, and I put some dishwash soap on there and, sprayed some water on there. So I put the gate down, and no sooner than I stepped on the gate and stepped on the bed of the truck, I went down in a split second. I slipped. And my right shoulder area, rotor cup, right on the wheel well, of the truck bed. And man, that hurt. So I managed to climb out of the truck in pain. When I stood there, I was dizzy. I thought I was going to pass out because the adrenaline, your body goes into shock. And he must have been in shock when he fell off that ladder onto the teeth of that excavator. He had to be. No, no, his brother didn't want nothing to do with it. He didn't want his body. I guess he's buried in the Philippines somewhere. Mayan, for all I know. A lot of people keep things quiet, you know, and sometimes maybe for the best. Yeah, but that guy gave me a lot of headache. So forgive me when I'm not shedding a tear over his death. I'm certainly not. I think it's sad that he didn't want to take care of himself that way. That's what I think is sad about his situation. It could have been preventative. I think his diet he was going on, that fasting thing, was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. That could have killed him alone. Believe it or not, whether the guy was my nemesis or not, I used to give him some good information on the side. I did. He didn't listen. He didn't listen to anybody. He just didn't want to spend the money on anything. I still think he had a stash somewhere. I think he's one of those guys that perhaps, and maybe Daisy's got it, I think he had a stash. Because he didn't even charge people to charge up their phones during an emergency. Don't think he wasn't asking for gas money. Of course he was. I was a peso pincher. And he was also a dumpster diver. No matter where he lived, he used to go into dumpsters and try to pull out some trash or treasures. He's one of those people. He was a dumpster diver. And he was a collector. He was what do they call him? He kept on everything, even this old termite-ridden furniture that he shipped over from Florida. Never even used it. I guess maybe his friend with the money or something had paid for the transport of that stuff, because I know it was going to come out of his pocket. But what did he do with it? It stayed in a container and just rotted, along with his tools, and termites took over it. Even the structure he lived in, you remember the floor was caving in? Then the sidewall was caving in. He had to get more plywood. Who could live that way? I told you, it takes all types on here on YouTube. I mean, we have some characters. Everybody I know on here is a character, pretty much. Some form or way. We got the liars. We got the haters. We got the bullshit artists that they live in this great fucking life. Look at Don C. He don't live in the Philippines. He lives in Thailand. But he spends more time concentrating on Philippine affairs. My business, other people's business. It's like he got bells ringing all over the house when I do a show. It's kind of like Popeye. When I'm on, oh, they're there. Why does he concentrate on his life in Thailand? I never understood that. How much time does he spend with his wife? No idea. Actually really don't care. He's another character. They all got a screw loose. Every single one of them. One thing I understand about Jay, he's talking about working out and all that shit, about all the poisonous food out there, fast food and everything, but every time he does a show, he's chain smoking cigarettes, he's pumping down how many beers or other drinks. That's funny. Hey, look, I'm not perfect either, because I haven't quit yet on the smoking, but I don't drink and I don't chain smoke, whoever's saying that. But Jay, I don't understand where he's coming from sometimes, He's on camera there, I don't know, I think he has some Aborigine blood in him. I think if you check his history, he has some Aborigine. I think he does. Do you ever notice that? I think he has some Aborigine. But I just thought it was funny that he's telling people how he works out and all that stuff, and he's over there chain smoking and downing. He's talking about poisonous foods, toxic foods, and fast foods, and but yet he's pumping down those cigarettes one after the other. The one thing I don't like what somebody does is to smoke on camera. I think that's really low class when somebody smokes on camera. I don't even like, I may smoke, I don't even like looking at somebody on camera smoking, blowing their smoke around. It's kind of low class. And we know a few people on here that used to do that quite a bit. It's low class. What's even more low class is if you hang a cigarette out of your mouth. And I've seen women that do that, and that was really low class. When they walk around with a cigarette, looking like an old hag. They got a cigarette like it's part of their fucking body, hanging out of their mouth. It's bad enough that somebody smokes, but to have it hanging out of your mouth, I think that's really as low class as you could possibly get. It's like it's an extension of the body or something like that, you know. Anyway, I've been on here quite a while, guys, doing my little cameos here. It's getting to that time, guys, the end of the year. Just trying to take care of business, and that's all we're trying to do. Get some shit over with, go on with my life, which I go on with it anyway every day. It's not like I'm not, but it is what it is. You deal with some things the best way you can. Take care of business, get it over with, and move on. And that's the way it should be, and that's the way it is with me. That's the way to do it. Live your life, but move on with some shit. Okay, not too much conversation going on here now. It's just a lot of lurkers and looky-loos, whatever. So with that being said, we did a double header today. Hope you enjoyed it. A rare occasion lately. A lot of shit going down the pike. But one way or another, it's going to come to a conclusion, one way or the other. Oh, hello, Popeye, by the way. I'm sure somebody else will probably do a show tonight. He thinks I stay up to listen to his shows. He does shows at 1 o'clock in the morning. He thinks I go to bed at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I don't stay up for his shows. He's not that interesting. I'm going to wait up all night just to hear the same shit over and over again. He's not that interesting. If you missed one of this guy's shows, just go back to an old show. You'll hear the same goddamn thing. Okay, guys, take care. And I should say, let's see, I am Big Buddy. Thank you for showing up. Our good old friend, Jidge Kubota. I am Big Buddy. A bear called Wilbur. I like that one. Yeah. Who else do we have here tonight? Mazda 9, of course. Larry Liempo. Stefan. A bear called Wilbur. Yeah. I like that one, a bear called Wilbur. That's a good one, actually. Anybody else we're missing here? I'd like to recognize the people on my show tonight. I don't want to miss anybody here. Oh, Philippines and Beyond. And who else?
Your best friend.
Huh?
Your best friend.
My best friend?
Yeah.
Is he on there? Huh? Why, is he making comments I don't see?
No.
Oh, okay. My best friend out there, yeah. I know he's listening. Oh, and Troll of Trolls, who goes on the other guy's show all the time. Troll of Trolls. All right, so we had an interesting variety of people on here tonight. I'm not complaining. With that, I'm going to call it an evening, folks. Any breaking news, I guess you might have to find it out from another source. And I'm sure you will. It may not be the total truth, but, expect the expected. Yeah. Need to go on with my life. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Need to go on. And so maybe I'm not leaving out anybody else. I am Big Buddy. Okay, did I say you? Okay, I am Big Buddy. Okay, guys, gotta go. Thanks for showing up. I knew I'd have a bunch of people on here. I haven't been on very often lately, so it's for the best. I think you guys understand that. Too much bullshit. I get more enjoyment just listen to all the repetition on here sometimes. You got Philippines antics, and they're still talking about Elliot. Oh, God. It's just the same shit, rehashed. It's just rehashing old hash is all they do in their shows. I'm hearing the same shit all the time. In other words, it's boring. I know I'm a fresh of breath air every time I come on here. I do realize that. But I can't be there for you guys forever. I thought I'd be off this thing 5 years ago. But I'm still on. And I'm going to just make a statement and say that I enjoyed vlogging. Actually did. But it's too much of a mess out there. It's just too many crazies. I think you understand that. Too many crazy people. It's hard to deal with sometimes. And it kind of takes away your train of thought when you're trying to do a show and you got trolls and so many rumors that are spread about so many people on here. And many, of course, are spread about me. But when somebody comes out with a lame statement that I hurt your feelings, I called you a bad name, I guess he'll never understand it. He'll never understand the ramifications of that. I don't think he's capable of understanding the ramifications of what he called me. Let's not mention the death threats, When he asked that question, I have no right to be where I'm at. I'm being held against my will and all this other bullshit. No, he's where he should be and more. So we'll see what comes out of all this real soon. Real soon. And I don't think I'm going to be the one to tell you. I'm sure he's famous for putting out information out and putting out important papers that my lawyer and myself have never seen, that he gets from his girlfriend, which is illegal, by the way. But that don't bother him because he's above the law. He doesn't give a shit. He does. The biggest problem he has, and he said it himself, he does not respect authority. He doesn't like those kind of figures, someone with authority. Authority. That says a lot about